Okay, so here's our next video. In the previous video, we went over triangle congruence. Go back and look at that. So in the previous video, we talked about triangle congruence and how we set up two triangles are congruent. We introduced there are four ways we can prove triangles are congruent. Side, 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 angle, or angle, angle, side. We also talked that there's two types that do not work, angle, 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 and side, side, angle. And we also talked about corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent, which I'm going to talk about today. And I went over some examples that are using side, 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 and side, angle, side. And now in this video, I'm going to talk about angle, side, angle, and angle, angle, side. So this next example, if you look at it, we are given an angle, the side, and then the angle. See how we have the same marks in both triangles? The thing about angle, side, angle is they have to all be on this, the two angles have to have the side in between them. So it has to be the angle, then the side, then the angle. So these are going to be congruent. So we can say angle, side, angle. And so the congruent triangles are going to be T UV is congruent to W X Y. So you have to look and see the order that you walk around the triangle, make sure you're flipping it over and matching them up right, so that you have the matching sides together. So we can see that T goes with W, U goes with X, and B goes with Y. All right, let's try the next one. So we only have two marks here, but if you remember, when two triangles are touching like this, they share a common angle. So we can write this angle in here. That's the vertical angle. And so you can see they have an angle, and then if we start going around, they have another angle, and then we're given a side. So in the next triangle, it was an angle, but we're not given this side. So it looks like I gave you one that doesn't work. So this is a good example of one that actually doesn't work, because if you notice, I would need to have angle, angle, side. Oh no, it works. Angle, angle, side. Mr. Montgomery. Angle, angle, side. So this one does work. It wouldn't be a lecture unless I made a mistake. So it is angle, angle, side. The two angles in a row and then a side that comes after them. And so we can say that triangle, let's start with HED is congruent to triangle FEG. Okay. So those are our last two ways of proving triangles are congruent: angle, side, angle, and angle, angle, side. So if you did not take the test last week, you can go back and take that triangle congruency test. And if you don't like these examples, you can also go back and look at the videos I provided from Khan Academy and some practices on IXL. If you need your IXL password, just send me a message and I will send you your password for IXL. I just want to quickly go over a proof. Remember, proof is when we write out all the reasons. And so in this example, we were given a drawing like we normally are, and we were given some information, right? And we were told that AB is parallel to DC, and we showed that by putting this little arrow here. So those are parallel lines. And we were also told that angle B and angle D are congruent, right? So that parallel tells us some stuff about, remember that this is a transversal here. So if I look at this line, we're going to have some alternate interior angles. If you remember from previous, anytime we have two parallel lines and we cross it, we know things like alternate interior angles are going to be congruent. So we'll come back to that. So how do they prove these triangles are congruent? They want to, well, they're not proving they're congruent. They want to prove that BC is congruent to DA. So they want to prove that this side is congruent to this side. And it seems obvious, but we have to prove it using reasons. So if we look at our reasons, they gave us that the lines are parallel. So what did that tell us? That lets us write in also that those alternate interior angles are equal. So since these lines are parallel, we could say that angle BAC, which is this angle right here, is congruent to this angle down here. It's similar to this picture I did over here. So now we have two angles and a side. We also know that angle B and angle D are congruent, right? They gave us that information, so we had to write that in our proof. And we also know that there's another side in the middle. So we can say that that side is congruent to both triangles, and that's the reflexive property. So now we can prove that the two triangles are congruent using angle, angle, side. Whoops, that is not what I wanted to do there. I wanted to highlight it. So angle, angle, side. We have an angle, another angle, angle B and angle D, and then this extra side. Now I'm going to take this off of here because these are not congruent yet. This is what we're trying to prove are congruent. So now that we've proven the two triangles are congruent, we can say all the other parts are congruent. So therefore, BC must be congruent to DA because it is a part of triangles that we have proved are congruent. I realize this is probably a little challenging, so don't sweat it if you don't get this. I just want to show you proofs. It's part of geometry, but I didn't put it on the test, but I do want to show it to you. So let's fill one in ourselves. Oh, I had one for you, but for some reason it didn't show up. That's okay. We're just going to end the video here. All right. My next two videos are going to be about quadrilaterals, and that will go with the work that we did this week on chapter 4. Have a good day.